Good morning, beautiful ladies and wonderful gentlemen. You back here in full effect with Icy Dawn, aka for a while. I did a live the other day, some time ago, in regards to, this little brief update of why this man, Umar Johnson, is having a secret meeting. And for all those who might not know who I am and what's his FDMG boogeyman, well, that's basically the ghost of the FDMG. People have a past, you know what I'm saying? And Umar Johnson past is not that good. No, I'm not infatuated with this man. None of the above. It was just a man helping a man being a soldier and trying to help him out and proving that black men are not creeps. Black men are not fraudulent. And in my endeavors, what I did, I encountered this man to realize that he's not really who he portrays what he really is, and it shows, to be honest. It's just that when he speaks, it's two different things. And so the point of my live streams is right now, I'm going to do a comparison of men and what they want to do and what they're doing or what they've done. And time frames and what is he, Umar Johnson, is he a fraud or not? And what he wouldn't do with black men, black boys. I heard him out his own mouth say it's not in the focus about the adults, the men. It's about these boys, these babies, raising them up and growing them. Well, that's deep because that means that he doesn't really have a true connection with the men themselves. And so as I go on the quest for my mission, which is to get the money that he owes me, for those who might not know, that's the reason why I'm here. I'm the FDMG boogeyman because I went to go aid the man and help the man at the same time. He helped at the same time. Understand? The manpower, and I knew he had resources. I knew he had revenue. I knew that was an outlet to work. And so I went out there for work. And I was at the school. I had the keys. I was working out the FDMG school. That's why many people was putting up posts and many people was putting up their opinions about him. I had to go there for myself to witness and feel the vibe. So I was 100% part of the vibe for that period of time of me being there. For those who might not know, I know the man. I met the man, came across the man, did some business with the man back in 2016, 2017. I made up some hoodies for him. One of the hoodies I made, I don't have no more of the hoodies I made for him. Maybe I do. I think I might. Or did I give it to him? I probably gave them all to him I think I gave them to him at one point. But I made up some hoodies. I don't know if I kept them for myself. And this is one of the hoodies. Let's see if you can see it. But this is not the hoodie, but this is the style of the hoodie. So I had these hoodies out. He saw it. He was like, yo, can you make me up some hoodies? So I made him up some hoodies that said Dr. Umar on it. Like this, and same thing in the heart. So I was custom making those, and I was at one of his events outside in the cold at the Kwanzaa event in Jamaica, Queens. And I sell my product out there. I had a couple customers there, and he came outside at the very end, and he saw we was talking for a brief moment. He said he needed 100 of those. He sent me the money. He Western Union some money, and from there, that's what happened. I started making them the shirts. I made up 100 shirts, got them to him, and he did whatever he did with them. Then he asked me to make up some other shirts. So I designed some other hoodies. My own money, and never got paid for it. I seen him at an event in Connecticut. Yeah, it was in Connecticut, and I had the hoodies for like 2 years or so. And so what I did was I gave them to him because I knew that he was doing events. Not gave it to him, but I gave it to him, and he said, "You're going to give me the money when you get it." That never happened. Wasn't stressing it because I knew you owe me. So like I said, I knew the school was open. So that was just my opening gift of me to him to show me who he really is. That was my invite. So because of all that, it gave me a key to the building. So I was pretty much a groundskeeper at the building, security at the building, making sure the building wasn't vandalized and drug addicts, because it was heavy drug activity in that area. So that was the responsibility, and to get the school in shape for the people not to keep constantly ridiculed. So that was the job, secret job. I was going to actually even get a location in the school to move in, where that the door where you got the red, black, and green door. That door is one part, but on the opposite side of that door is another section of the room, and that was going to be where I was going to actually have my space, my office space in the school, and my living quarters in the school, because the agreement was that he was going to help me get a room or a apartment out there. And when I found one, immediately I found one around the corner from the school. He refused to get it. It was $500, maybe $550. But I told him, yo, shit, I paid a $152. I paid $150, $200. And from there, I started witnessing him being really funny. And so it changed from us getting the place. Like I said, it was only 2 minutes away. So it changed from us getting the place to now, hey, you know what? Let's just make this room right here your place. So that was him escaping pain, making that money in payments for those months that I was going to be there, and just having me sit back and wait. So I'm like, well, you know, dude, right now I need a place to stay. I'm staying in Philly with someone that I just met, but you know, I don't want to keep going back and forth. I really need a place. So I sacrificed, and nothing ever happened. And like I said, this was me just really invite myself in this world to see, was he really a fraud? Like spook behind the door type shit. For real, for real. So the man, like I said, led me to this topic today. So what's this topic today? Because I'm in the quest of getting my money. He owes me $3,000+. It's been over a year now. Well, November 7th will make a year. Around the corner. So in this whole time frame of him completely abandoned, like I wasn't an important role in the situation there. Like I say, you know, folks, it was important for little things to get done. And I made sure things got done rapidly. I put it to you like this. You had a man, his name was Leonard Honor, and you had a few other people. You had quite a few people. Shout out to all you who was going in on him. And I was there, and I was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Nah, you're going in wrong. No, no. And the bottom line is everything that you're saying is now not really good, because the fact that he has a school, you say he wasn't going to get a school, so he got the school. So my point was like, nah, yeah, we can't keep bashing our black men like that, because people do the same to me in my life. So I felt his pain. But like I said, everything turned wrong because he's not really right in his head. I guess mental health is really a serious issue, and I'm serious, folks. The damage that he got mentally in his last 6 years, 7 years, the damage that he's done to himself all his life mentally with people, and the damage that he received online and just everything, the ridicule. he's suffering mentally. And like I said, most people who is therapists, most people who are doctors, have certain type of mental issues anyway. Not all, but a lot. That's what made them go into the field. They suffer from something. A lot of people they go into medicine because they suffer from something. Well, let's go to the topic. I had this man I came across, I was watching YouTube and I clicked on this hot boxing with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson sitting there just looking a little funny. He's just sitting there like looking regular style, looking like a thug, puffing on his blunt. And he had Wale on. Yeah, I think it was Wale. And they kind of like mentioned Cus D'Amato. And Cus D'Amato was his manager trainer at the beginning of his career when he was a young kid. Young kid. That's what made me talk about this topic. A young boy. All right. I don't say like the Philly people out here. But yeah, that's when he was a young man, young boy. Took him off the streets. Because, he didn't really take him off the streets because he came across him. And once he came across me, he knew that he had a little black kid from Brownsville, but he saw some potential. And so I was watching hot boxing, which made me think about Umar, because I was thinking about Cus D'Amato, this white man, this white Italian guy, and Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson was a street kid. Mike Tyson, at that young age, was really a little street man, street boy, running around robbing, hanging with people with guns, fighting, getting paid to fight. He was a thug at a young age. And when you think about back then, because Mike Tyson is older than me, and I'm in my 40s, and so when I was growing up at the age of 13. That was in the 80s. So at the age for Mike Tyson was the 70s. So just imagine the 70s in Brooklyn and Brownsville. We're just coming off of the whole civil rights movement. We're going into Black Power. Black people more vocal. The energy's high. Drugs is out of control. Everybody chasing that dollar. And then many people not getting up. Many people suffering. Broken homes, broken glass everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Remember that song, Don't Push Me Cause I'm Close to the Edge? That was Mike Tyson at the age of 13 in the 70s in Brooklyn, 80s, early 80s. Remember, he was already fighting in his 80s. He was already a millionaire about 88, 89, 90. Okay, folks, so what I'm saying to you, I'm saying this white Italian man saw that potential. He saw something in that man. He saw potential in that. And took him into his home. Brought him to the table to eat food. Years later, invested a lot of time, energy, and money into him. So like I said, we're going to go dig deep into the Cus D'Amato. And then we're going to do a comparison of Umar Johnson. As Umar Johnson parading around, I'm not going to be one-sided. As Umar Johnson quest to gain the money that he think he need to invest the time and energy into young black men. He thinks he need the money. So let's go into the lifestyle. That's straight from Google. I don't know nothing about this dude Cus, but his name's Constantine Cus D'Amato. Born in 1908. Now, like I say, remember, folks, white Italian man born in 1908. Where was he born? Bronx, New York. Born in Bronx, New York. Okay, folks. This man was born in the Bronx, New York in 1908. So let's just say 10 years from 20 years from there, he's 20 in 1928. 1928, folks. What's his type of mentality? What mindset he has? What's his outlook on black men, black boys, black community? What's his family background? Because remember, Umar always talks about Pan-Africanism and white America. I wonder what this man's lifestyle was really about when it came to his like or dislike when it comes to black people. Born in 1908. What was his mentality? Well, I know the end result. Mike Tyson on hot boxing, praising and giving all love to him, calling him his father figure, his dad, his father. A man that Mike was probably looking to rob at a few points, which he said became a true father figure of nothing but love. And what happened when that father figure and that love disappeared? You saw the end results. What happened to Mike? So I'm not going to even try to dig deep into this life style of this man. Matter of fact, let's just say he had a certain dislike for black men. How many of us, or should I say, how many women, how many black women out there have a certain dislike for black men? All right, so I'm gonna keep the ice rink not too slippery. It's slippery, but I'm not gonna have it too slippery. Still gonna slide. We can slide all across that. But the comparison I'm putting together right now is what in the hell is this Negro doing for black boys? Or what in the hell did this Negro do for black boys? And that's what this whole comparison is about, folks. Okay, so let's do a little bit reading, a little bit, not too much reading, because that's not what I'm here to do. Oh, once again, I served that dude Umar September 10th. We served him September 10th at the school, at the FDMG Academy in Delaware. We served him right there at the school, recording. And he had 20 something, I think he had 20 days response. So what's today? Today is September 26th. So that was the 10th. Was that 16 days? Okay, folks. Keep you posted on that. We'll keep you posted on that. 16 days in since I served him. So Constantine was born into an Italian-American family in New York City, of the borough of the Bronx, in January 17th. So I believe he is a Capricorn, if not Aquarius. I think he's Capricorn. His father, Dmato, delivered ice and coal in the Bronx using a horse and cart. So, you know, traveling throughout the community, he was delivering ice and he was delivering coal. That's a good business. So he was getting all that money. Okay. So his father was smart. So he grew up from a hustler. His father was a hustler. He grew up from his dad, and his dad was definitely tough on him. At the young age of at a young age, Dmato became very involved and interested in Catholicism, and even considered becoming a priest during his youth. So he had some form of religion, even though it was Catholic. He still was religious. So that means that at a young age, most young kids are not really that evil, you know what I'm saying? So most likely at a young age, he had a certain love for life and people, which made him want to go into that. I'm just going to assume. Okay, we're going to assume that. But after that, what happens? That's going to speed up from, he's still young now. At age 22. At the age of 22. Excuse me. So that means 22 years from 1908. That means 1930. In 1930, Cus opened the Empire Sporting Club with Jack Barrow at the Gramercy gym. So he started a sporting club inside the gym. So he was maneuvering, hustling. They was networking. Okay, that's what we have to learn to do, folks. Network. Young folks, he was 22, he's networking. He lived in the gym for years. You understand what I'm saying? That's the sacrifice I was willing to do with the school to make it happen. I was networking and was going to be there 24/7 to make sure it happened. See? That's the blueprint. I'm actually a Capricorn as well. According to Dmato, he spent his time at the gym waiting for a champion. Okay? So he's going to be there looking for that right person. But his best fighters were routinely poached by connected managers. And that's what happens in life. You know what I'm saying? When you don't really have it, but you have that dream, you have that energy, but you just don't have certain things, which is really the finances. It's resources, but a lot of times finances. You kind of get overshadowed by something bigger. And that was happening to him. One fighter discovered by Dmato was Rocky Graziano, who signed with some other trainers, and so he got snatched. So this dude, Cus, was hungry. He was hungry. He was hungry. You know he was hungry. He's young. He was hungry. And also he had a father that was on his butt. You know what I'm saying? It was known that his father definitely used to beat him. His father used to, be a little abusive. So that dude was actually a tough kid. He even became a boxer. You know what I'm saying? He actually became a boxer. So as he became a boxer, you know what I'm saying? He had a little injury to his eye. And so eye though. He had an injury to his eye, which stopped his career, but he still had an eye to see others and see the potential of others. Years later, he came across something. He came across a few people. He came across what's the brother name? Patterson. And the boxer Patterson, excuse me, folks. I forgot the Pat Patterson. I'm forgetting the man's name. And he managed him for a while. Made the champion out of him. But one of the greatest things, Floyd Patterson, not Pat Patterson, my bad. Floyd Patterson. Under the tutelage of Floyd Patterson, captured the Olympic middleweight gold medal in 1952. So this dude been around boxing for a very freaking long freaking time, folks. He started his own thing in 1930 and 1952. So that's time. Okay, look, 1952, 1930 is when he started his dream inside of a gym. And by 1952, he's at the Olympics with Floyd Patterson winning the gold. Dmato then guided Patterson through the professional ranks, maneuvering Patterson into fighting for the title vacated by Rocky Marciano. So now you can just imagine his energy of knowing that this title was vacated by Rocky Marciano, and I got a fighter that's going to take it, and it's a black man. Okay, so like I say, I don't know his history and his affection and love towards black people, especially in those years growing up in the 20s and 30s and 40s. But by 1952, seems as if he had some type of connection with some black men. And I mean, like I said, we talk about years. He put a lot of energy into the champion. I want to know what Umar believes in at the end of during the peak of his whole tenure. I want to know what Umar believes that he's going to have. What is his ultimate goal? Because remember, he don't care about the men. It's about the babies. So when the babies are in their teenage age, what's his goals for them? When they out their teenage age, what is his aspiration? What's his dreams for them? Or don't he have a vision for that? Like I said, this man had a vision that he was going to have a champion. What is his overall vision with these boys? You get these boys at the age of 6, 7, 8, 9. By the time they are 13, what is his ultimate vision for these boys in their futures? And how much is he moving in that
direction right now. Like I say, 1930s when this man Cus started his club. By 1952 is when he was capturing the gold with Olympic weight, middleweight Floyd Patterson. Now I'm really serious about this because that's 22 years of him doing whatever he was doing in that time frame. But that's what he got, and it don't stop there. So he comes across this little knucklehead, and what he did with this knucklehead Mike Tyson, he trains him. Mike Tyson was a big boy. Mike Tyson was a big kid. You understand what I'm saying? He wasn't no little lightweight. He was always a heavyweight, just a little short. And you gotta understand that that actually played to the advantage for Cus because you know what I'm saying, Cus is not that big of a man himself. So by being a small boxer and training another boxer to be a heavyweight, he gave a shorter style. So that's why Mike Tyson always stayed low. It's hard for those heavyweights to really get him with the good blows when he's low, except for those uppercuts. You know what I'm saying? That's what catch Mike once they start timing him. But he kept him low. But once he came across Mike Tyson, he definitely said he wanted to invest his everything in him. So him and his wife, they get a mansion. They move all these boys in the house and they train these kids, feeding these kids, train these kids, feeding these kids. But not just training them to be warriors. He was training their brains. He was giving them brain food. Because you're not going to tell me that Mike Tyson became the intellect that he is. I give him points on being an intellect. You're not going to tell me that Mike Tyson became the somewhat intellect that he is on his own. I'm going to give a lot of that to this man Cus D'Amato for believing. Okay, you're not going to be a dumb boxer. You're going to learn. You're not going to be some dumb black kid from the Brownsville to just get punched in the head. So this is what makes me go into the life of Cus D'Amato. And we all knows what happened after that. Mike Tyson becomes a champion. Mike Tyson, is making money. Mike Tyson had his head on his shoulders. But then Daddy's gone. And what happens when Daddy leave home? We start running the streets. And so who we start running the streets with? Don King. He gets married. We got to give Mike Tyson some props. He got married at a young age. I mean, black men run around who still haven't got married, like Umar Johnson. Mike Tyson got married at a young age. You got to give him props and love. It's no matter how much he run around with the women, he took the time out to get married. What he married, that's the problem. So now we're going to switch over to Umar Johnson. Because I'm going to do a part two. I'm giving you of this. I'm just giving, and then I'm going to also talk about some things that's taking place out here in Philly because I went to DC last month, and I was out in DC and they was doing the rally. Sharpton was doing the rally, and I went there because I'm a vendor, so I was out there. And so Sharpton was doing rally, and there was a bunch of people doing marches as well. They were doing marches and rally. It was lit. Umar Johnson marched. He walked all the way down from Philly all the way to DC. He was out there. So there was many organizations out there. But as I was pulling out my cart and my product, I seen a group of people. They was walking like they didn't know which way they was going. I asked them, was it going to Sharpton rally? And one of the girls, she just kind of like snapped at me like, F Sharpton, F him. He ain't about nothing. F him, F him. I'm like, why is she so tight right now? And then she said, the real rally is going to be over here. She said, that's the rally that you need to be at. That's the rally I'm going to. She was about a rally that was taking place out there as well, that was dealing with the many, many victims of police violence, death, murder. You know what I'm saying? And she was a victim. Her family was a victim, and she was talking about how Sharp is out there doing a march on something that don't even really have no real make no meaning. She was saying, you know, I was like, I mean, I was like, no, people always say that about Sharp, and people always say that. I was like, but no, what's happening is great. Let him do what he do. You do what you do, and she do what they do, and they do what they do. As long as we have bullets, as long as we have all over the place blasting off, we always going to be at war. We always going to be battling, and that's what's important. As long as the war going on, we battling all over. That's what's needed for revolution. And so she starts snapping at me, thinking us in this front line right now. I'm not down no one. I'm saying, nah, we need that. And she stormed off and upset because he's marching for voters' rights. So that was last month. And I'm sitting in the car, actually this morning, and I'm listening to the radio, and they're talking about what's taking place in Pennsylvania. I forget the county. I'm sorry, folks. But it's what's about to take place throughout all Pennsylvania. They're going to try to do it all America. They say the Republicans. I say it's not really just the Republicans. I say it's all across the board. You just throw it on the Republicans. But let's just say the Republicans is trying to get it where all your credentials, you know how when you go to vote, they only really ask for much credentials? Well, now every single thing about you, your driver's license, your birth certificate, your social security card, your email address, any and everything that they can have of you, they want for you to be able to vote. You can't vote without submitting that. That's going to take like 80% of the population away from voting, especially when it comes to those Negroes. So where we at right now, that's very important because let's just say that goes through. That'd be kind of crazy, right? It'd be dope. It'd be amazing to be watching the world move around this way. You know what I'm saying? It'd be amazing for the world to be moving in this manner, to see the lack of voting support, the lack of votes going out, to see the decline of activity when it comes to that political process. Because remember, Barack Obama turned it up where he got people really voting. That whole Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama era after Bush, see, all that was beautiful. You got that whole party jumping. They got the whole voting party jumping. And so out here in Pennsylvania, they really try and take away all that from you. And that's very important for me to just to throw in it because, like I said, it's about power. This knowledge is power. So know what's going on, know what's coming to your town real soon. Like I say, this is the new world order. We are in the new world order, folks. Don't think it's some old crazy shit. It's new world order. COVID, new world order. And like I said, I'm gonna go back to Umar because what is his game plan and goals for these young boys for this new world order that we are in? You thought it was gonna be some old crazy earth opening up and demons coming? Well, no, it's already been like that. This new world order is real. You thought it was gonna be about you seeing camps being set up, and you thought you was gonna see some walls being built. Well, they talk about walls. They talk about infrastructures being built. You see currency changing. You see currency changed. You see that you can't buy or sell, shop. You can't shop without getting the mark. You already see where we at. And like I say, what is Umar, the Pan-African, is really doing the training for that. Let's go into who he is and what's his background. Umar Johnson is a doctor of clinical psychology and certified school psychologist who's considered an expert on the education and mental health of African and African American children. Who wrote that? Okay. So he is a doctor of clinical psychology and certified school psychologist who is considered an expert on the education and mental health of African and African American children. Okay, let's see what that's about. Because this is very important, because in his time, in like from time he graduated from college to the time of him, working his job. Okay, so what the fuck is this ticket shit? From him, the time of him starting working his career, I would like to know what accomplishments he has for boys, or what accomplishments does he have for the white American system to pretty much stifle, stagnate, and drug up these young boys, because he was a certified clinical psychologist. He was a a certified school psychologist. So he was the one who, when at the bottom of the paper, it says for when he was when I'm filling those things out. So for all those black boys that he talked about helping, how many black boys was he involved with of getting them underneath some type of medication, getting them drugged up? How many boys did he say that need medicine, that kind of didn't need medicine? And so that's where I'm at right now. I want to do a comparison in his time of graduating to his time of starting the school. What accomplishments did he have with young black boys? But hold on one second. Let's put this up there. Boom, bam, boom. Sorry. Boom, bam, boom, paste. Yeah, I keep messing up. There's absolutely no one here, but I'm still gonna paste that's there in the chat. Let's see if this works. Wow. Okay. We're gonna put that in the chat. Just because my last channel I had was shut down because he sent some goons at me to attack me, to get my lives down, because I have people listening, paying attention. And even if you didn't have the positive feedback, you still have people listening and paying attention. And because you have people listening and paying attention, that brings him at a state of being nervous. And his nervousness forced him to have certain type of meetings with people to attack me. Now, my channel's shut down, not even from him, but from a female that I never even made a live on. I never even really gave two farts about. She always mentioned me. She always mentioned my name on everyone's channel, but my channel's taken down by her because she has some money to get a lawyer to attack. And nobody wants no lawyers attacking them. It's just that simple. So I guess whatever live stream YouTube, they was like, we don't have no time for this. So yeah, just take it down. Once you get a lawyer involved, come on, they like, if you taking that time and energy and money to get a lawyer down, yeah, we're gonna do what you say. So it was on some shit like that. If anybody get a lawyer and have a lawyer send letters or just make phone calls, you're gonna get responses from people who don't have time and energy for shit like that. Especially for who's Don M. So we back on Umar. Like I said, it's not much to really talk about when it comes to him and the lifestyle, his life of accomplishments when it comes to being a young black man. During his post Millersville years, Johnson was an active member of the Philadelphia chapter of Universal Negro Improvement Association. Founded by the late Marcus Garvey, where he later resigned. Now, I'm in Philly, and I heard stories about why he was there basically, the Universal Association, which had a lot of the special edition and ADHD wars against black boys. In the book, he alleges that African American boys are purposely misdiagnosed with learning disabilities as part of conspiracy of psychological warfare towards black people. He believed that the reason this is because of he's funny. See, psychology is very deep. And when you can pick a person's brain, which our brains have been picked for so long, you gotta understand how easy it is for us to get over on us when we have credentials. That's why he always screaming his credentials. He would never have been able to get over on the people if he didn't graduate, if he didn't have no paperwork, if he was just trying to start a grassroots, he would never really came this close. But the people didn't believe in him; they believed in his credentials. And that's the sad thing about it. That you know what I'm saying? This is going to skip down. It's just so sad that you can sneak in. So he believes that the reason for this is because of the lack of fathers in African American households. Yes, that. I agree with that. We agree with that. So once you can understand that, now you can start nitpicking and picking, and you can read a few books, and you can hypnotize the people, okay, believing that you are going to save them, their mothers, because their father's not there. So you're going to provide that fatherly institution. Like I say, Cus D'Amato, Umar Johnson. If Cus D'Amato came around at the same time with Umar Johnson, young guy, and they both did the same pitch, who you think would have got more donations, Cus D'Amato or Umar Johnson? Cus D'Amato was going to say, you know what, I'm going to build these gyms for these boys. I'm going to house them. I'm going to feed them. Umar Johnson says he's going to build a school for black boys to teach Pan-Africanism, and because there's a lack of fathers. Who do you think really would have got more donations if Cus was in this time frame with Cash App and PayPal? That's a good question. Anyway, and the lack of a masculine energy. This is one of the reasons for his plant school for black boys. Throughout the 2010s, he went on speaking tours on the subject of Pan-Africanism, black nationalism, black excellence, and his experience in the school system. His claims of misdiagnosis has been backed by studies, but they do not support his accusations of ethnic cleansing. He has been critical of Barack Obama for not doing enough for the black community. In November of 2019, Johnson and Joe Brown had a debate about Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. Brown stated that a black man should have been on the bill, while Johnson argued Tubman should support. Okay, like I said, I'm reading and I'm still trying to find out what he has done for just one black boy. I'm taking one black boy that Cus did something for. I'm taking just one. I'm trying to find one black boy that Umar Johnson did something with and for, and really made a champion out of. Because like I say, he went to school, he was in school, okay, he is active. Let's say 1997 to present. So I'm gonna say 1997. Okay, so from 1997 to 2010, from 1997 to 2015, what little boy did he make a champion out of? I'm gonna even say 1998. Okay, I'm gonna say 1998 because it's a years active, 1997 to present. So I'm gonna say now. I'm gonna say 1999. Nah, I'm gonna say 2000. I'm gonna say 2000 and 2015. What black boy did he make a champion out of on any level? What black boy can give a testimony that will make you cry and feel like, yo, Jermaine Shoemaker Johnson Jermaine Shoemaker Johnson is the man? What young black boy can give a testimony and shed tears on this man's impact in his life? Like I said, we're gonna do part 2 later on because this is important, folks. This has to come to an end. And it's not because I don't think that a school should be built, and I don't think that we should be teaching our boys. Because I mean, I've been saying this for life. Like I said, I'm an icy man. I know what my community needs. We need father figures. I know that. I was a camp counselor for years. Hands-on training. Was he ever a camp counselor? Did he ever camp? Was he ever a counselor in this youth camp, summer camp? Did he walk around with the kids when at the age of 15, 16, 17? I want to know that history. I want to know in his young age, what was his involvement with the youth? Was this really just a hustle? You got the ultimate trolling warrior, folks. This is real talk. In November 2019, Johnson, okay, yeah, we said that. Okay, so he spent at least like 15 years just trying to make himself known. Like I say, controversies. Johnson has received harsh criticism about his ideology and beliefs, in which some consider him a fraud for his fundraising tactics for his proposed Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy in Delaware. But Dr. Johnson insisted that he hasn't spent any of the money raised for his school. So I didn't, throughout the whole history lesson I was looking at of Cus D'Amato, I was really looking for it. I was looking for Why the fuck I didn't see not one word pop up saying controversy or claims of hate or claims of races? I didn't see none of that, and subconsciously I was looking for it. I was looking for something that would make me say, okay, raise an eyebrow and say Cus was related to the mob. Cus was a killer. Cus, how did Cus get this money? I was looking for, like, how did he get the money for the mansion? Well, he said he got married to a woman who had the bread. Remember, he was a boxer. He was young. He had his own thing going on. So he came across the right woman who had money, and she got the mansion. Things wasn't that. I mean, if you had some money, you had things. She probably came from a good household, a good family herself. He just married into the right situation and had the right dream, and she believed in him. She loved him. 1, 2, 3. But we see controversies. We see ancestry claims. Johnson claimed to be related to Frederick Douglass. This has been interpreted as claiming to be a descendant. This has been disputed by the media and some members of the Douglass family. So in his last 15 years, he's just been getting into controversies. Kobe Bryant death theory. Kobe Bryant death theory. Like, we trying to build a school for black boys, and underneath Umar Johnson comes up Kobe Bryant death theory. So off the topic of what is he doing or what he has done for black boys. In January 2020, after the death of Kobe Bryant, Johnson said that Kobe was killed because of his lawsuits and engagements with the pharmaceutical industry. No problem. Salute for making a statement and stand on that. But why is it that's the only thing we've seen in regards to you and your quest of saving black boys? And that's it, folks. Part 2 is scarier. Part 2 is scarier. And I want you to understand why part 2 is scarier. Because part 2 focuses on the finances, what they've done with their money, what's been going on behind the scenes, and still what has been done with the black boys. I'm going to dig into a little bit more into the lifestyle of Cus D'Amato, but I think Cus D'Amato really already just nailed the coffin. So we're going to dig more deeply into continue this question of what is Umar overall goal with black boys. So we're going to go take a look, and we're going to focus on the Two Women in Ceremony show. The Two Women show. The Two Women show. Okay, remember, we got the school now, and the biggest highlight is the wedding. The wedding. I love you, baby. Oh, I love you, baby. Hey, baby, how you doing, baby? I got two women, and you're going to live in the house with them. We're going to talk about, like I say, what is he doing for black boys? Folks, I hope this is touching a little bit of a nerve in you, because, like I say, we have to really call this out, and not just call this out, but follow up. It's very important to support those people who's really on real missions and not doing things for laughter and jokes and for donations, and they keep certain lifestyles going. Right now, we're in my room. Thanks to the family that allowed this to be. I'm still in my world of trying to get out this hole, still surviving. We started this year off, and one of the men that met me on from this YouTube world helped me out and get me into a situation where I'm now more stable in Philadelphia to continue the mission and quest. I've been on my grind ever since, you know what I'm saying? I'm always on my grind, but I've been on my grind out here and studying the land and getting the land, and you know, and this this is what the savings look like right now. That's the savings, and it can grow. We need the savings to grow because we need lawyers. We need legal aid. I had a couple of dollars, but like I say, I'm in the fight. So if there's anyone who would like to support the FDMG Boogeyman, aka the Ultimate Troller Warrior, Don M, and this quest not just only to get the funds that's owed to me, but then to take those funds that's owed to me and invest them back into the community for the program project Pick Me Up. I don't need much to really survive. I'm cool. But I need for this program to live. With this project Pick Me Up, it's an educational, economical, social, spiritual, political movement for our youth, for our unadvantaged, you know, the people, the underdogs, you know what I'm saying? The less fortunate, our homeless. It's for us who's doing better to be able to give back. Those businesses who's doing to become a value in the community. Just because you're making money in your community don't mean you're valuable in your community. There's a lot of places that businesses that's in communities that have no value to the community, but they making money. And it's important for us to become valuable to ourselves and the community. So we must really support one another in the right way. And even with that question, Umar, I wish that he got the right support and the right love, because that's what he needs. He needs love, but he needs to start it off with love, and that starts at home. Starts right here in the mind. And so he has to have the certain type of love for himself, knowing that he's doing right for the people, not just a certain lust for himself. And that's the type of love he has. He has a lust for himself, and that's what we're gonna go into. That's why we have the two wives. He has a lust for himself. But for those who understand that that's not going to build no empire, but that's a start. Please support. Like I said, I'm just getting my live streams back up, and we're gonna make this happen. I'm starting the app. This app is gonna be a beautiful app. I mean, I just can't wait. I'm investing a few $1,000s into building an online app for my program project Pick Me Up. This online app is really what I'm saving for, because for me to go mobile with Project Pick Me Up, I'll be able to reach many people in different states. And then I'll be able to go and do the things I do. Like I said, I'm a traveling vendor, and I need to vend myself now. I got to get out there and start vending myself and becoming parts of communities. Philadelphia, that's what I want to talk about. I took some notes. I was listening to the radio because, like I said, I'm a community activist. That's why I'm in Philly. I'm in Philly because Philly needs me. And Philly needs men. That's what I mean by me. Philly needs men. When I say me, I'm talking about men, black men. And so right now, Darrell Clark, he's the president councilman of the city council, and he was talking about what's going on in Philly. Now, I'm pretty sure that your boy Umar is not going to be talking about this because he is clueless, even though he's not, but he's clueless to point himself in the right direction, because he don't believe that this is for him. For Pan-Africanists, this ain't for him. Even involving himself at the table, he don't think that as a Pan-Africanist that he should be at that table. He should be, you know what I'm saying? But we talk about $400 million is going to be allocated to the city of Philadelphia in the course of 4 years. It's not like, and it's not something that's in the process. It's something that already been signed off, and the money's there. So every year they got $100 million to go towards preserving Philly already businesses, the homes there, the community as a whole. And we ain't talking about building Walmarts. We're not talking about buildings, malls and stuff like that. We talk about renovating the small businesses and the homes that's already out here. They already put out $150 million to violence prevention. So already in Philadelphia alone, they got half $1 billion laid on the table. And he's not even on the front line just fighting for it to go to the right people. You don't have to accept it, but you have to. Why don't you be on the front line and as a voice, making sure that it goes towards right things, as opposed to just constantly thinking that you're going to sell your book and get donations to build this empire from Delaware to Africa. As all you do is cause controversies. So like I said, in Pennsylvania right now alone, we have them trying to take away certain areas of Pennsylvania privacy, their privacy of their vote. I always hated the vote because I was like, no, if I vote, then you're going to be able to follow me. They like, no, your vote's private, your vote private, like whatever. The paper has a goddamn number on it. I'm number 44. The paper got a number on it. So now the paper gonna have a number on it with your social and your driver's license, so they know it's you. So, for example, there's your silly folks out there who think that, oh, that's about black folks. No. I want you to get focused now. This is a war going on. I told you it's the new world order. So let's take black folks out that picture for that whole voting. Let's just say Al Sharpton's out there marching for the voting rights of people. For all you Republican voters out there, see, you gotta understand what this really is about. They want to know is you really down or you not. So, like, if I'm Republican and I decide to vote for Biden, and you have all my information, and I have a big business, I might get kicked out that club that we are all part of. I might not get a chance to smoke that cigar with you in the spa. That's what it's about. It's about finding who's with who, period. And who we gonna stop funding, who we gonna stop aiding, who we gonna start warring with. It's way bigger than this trying to stop black folks from voting. It's way bigger than trying to discourage some Negroes from going out there and casting their vote. It's about locking everybody down in this bottle and tossing it to the sea, to the sharks. It's not a game no more, folks. It's the new world order we in. And like I say, what is Umar Johnson doing to prepare young black boys for it? When all he is just filled with controversy that's slowing down something that's supposed to have been happening 25 years ago. We supposed to have been having nothing but institutions ran by black folks throughout our communities, period. What makes you think I started my program, my youth program? It's just hard to do things when you grind in a certain way. And grinding underground, underneath the surface, is not always easy, but sometimes it's needed. But you need the right people to be the engineers and the conductors of that train. Once again, change saved up. Program's called Project Pick Me Up. I'm gonna post that. It's very important for you to support this. I believe that this is not me. This ain't me. I believe that this is something divine sent this to happen. That's why the process takes this type of amount of time underneath the ground. But when it sprouts up, it's going to sprout up to be like a beanstalk. And it's time for you to get involved. So, folks, like I say, we have Cus D'Amato, white Italian man, born in 1908. By the time he was 22, he started a sports club. By the time 1952 came in, he was already making champions. Takes time, but that's what his goal was. You got Umar Johnson, controversy. He got some books. I know one brother that he helped him get, he guided him through the process of getting his son, his children into custody. So, you know what I'm saying, that's big for that. But, knowledge is power. So you can just pass on knowledge to someone and they got to run with it. It's not like he made the phone calls. It's not like he wrote the letters. It's not like he did the work. He just gave him the insight. But like I say, what is that you did for young boys? What champion can you put on the face of your school? Who's your model student? Who's your model person that you work with? And that's what we want to dig into now. We ain't gonna talk about what does this clown talk about? Your coochie or uchi, your coochie stuff. I mean, what I'm looking at certain people's stuff and they talk about the most craziest things, the cookies, and we're not gonna be talking about who you crushing. We're not gonna be talking about who you're involved with, what you're doing. We're gonna talk about who you're not involved with, and you're not involved with the young black boys' lives. You know it, and we know it. And it's now time for you to say it. You're not involved in young black boys' lives, and you need to get involved. That should be your next pledge. So on that note, folks, hope something resonated. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking more about this whole voting situation because this right here is really on my mind. So we're going to do a live on that. We're going to do a live on this neighborhood preservation initiative and why it needs to take place in every city right now. Every urban city across the nation should have $400 million being allocated to their city right now. So we're going to do a live on that. And we're going to keep it funky, folks. FDMG Boogeyman, the ultimate trolling warrior, signing off. Or should I say like this?